Okay, so I'm in the basement again. Yeah, it's middle of April and it's crapping outside. We had snow this morning. It's rain. It's like 40 degrees outside, and I'm not going out. I'm sorry. I just cannot bring myself to go out in the bad weather and do some shooting. I really need to shoot. I've got thousands of rounds of ammunition loaded up. Speaking of ammunition, I had some friends of mine have sent me some bullets in the past, and I really like the smooth-sided design for powder coating. It gives you more grip on the rifling. So this one right here, it's these are both 3.58, and this one comes in. I'm broke out my little Lyman scale. 162 grains, flat point, and this one here comes out at 151 and a half, I believe. Yeah, and it's a cup point. I don't know if you can see that or not. It's a shallow hollow point. So I've shot these in my GP100 and in my Henry rifle. My Henry rifle really liked these. Did really good with these. This is pretty much the ogive starts about right here. So it got me thinking. So I bought the NOE 359 151 truncated cone hollow point. The thing about the NOE hollow points, you get 3 different pins with them. Yeah, this is the deep hollow point right here. I'm going to start casting with those and make some deep hollow points. Then I'll make some cup points, and you can see, hopefully, that doesn't even go down into. Sorry for the bad lighting. It's really dark in the basement. That's why I call it the dungeon. For anything serious, I'll use the deep hollow points, and I'll change out these pins after I get them seasoned, and I'll put the cup points in like this. Now these should drop somewhere in the 150 to 160 range. I don't know yet until I cast and I can weigh them, but that's also the smooth-sided design for powder coating, and I don't traditionally lube anymore. I love powder coating. In fact, these are some of my colors that I've made up. This is a gentian blue with hammered white in it, so it gives kind of a speckled look, and I just really like that. Good solid stuff. And this is my purple. It's really splotchy, and I've since then I've devised my color a little bit better, so I'll probably do some up in different colors once I get those done. And then I have, oh yeah, in the NOE, I'd ordered the brass mold because I don't know if you saw the video where I had my my NOE 454 255. See, I guess it's a round flat, and it's a hollow point. And those things, man, I just love those. And after I got the mold seasoned, learned the temperature settings for my lead, for the brass, for the pins. I mean, everything has its own little proprietary setting when you're working with a brass mold. But I've pretty much cast with aluminum molds most of my life. And when I ordered the brass, Al called me up a couple hours later, the owner of NOE, and says, "Hey, I was putting together your order." He says, and I looked inside the box, and your brass mold is an aluminum mold. And I said, "Yeah, send it. We'll give it a try." So I got the aluminum, and it's lighter. So that's one thing. In fact, it's a lot lighter than this RCBS. I don't know if you can see it now. Probably not. The light is terrible. The lighting is terrible here. This is a number 45 201 semi-wad cutter, RCBS, and it's a good-looking bullet. And hey, I think my Vaquero will like those. So I got this from Willie. Thank you again, Willie. As part of the score I got with the RCBS Bench Prime. And man, this mold is really in good shape. Just very light cleaning, and there was a place right here on the edge that looked like it had been hammered right on the edge, and I don't know how. So I took a file and I made sure that I was good and flat on the surface here, and I broke this edge just a little bit. So if you see any kind of irregularities there, but this is a used mold, and it's not a problem. Like I said in previous videos, do it yourself. Don't just whine about it. Just fix it. because in this day and age, if you want to send something back to the manufacturer and say, hey, it's not working, you probably never see it again. Just nothing is working. So on the RCBS, you really need RCBS handles. Unfortunately, I'll explain in a minute. These handles, they are okay. Now my okay, they've been on for too long. Okay, so these come out right around 285, and I thought let me make sure. Oh, okay, I'm not zeroed. I was gonna say that should be a bit thicker than that. Okay, 298, 294. Okay, because that's the measurement I had before. 295, under 3/10 of an inch. And if you're going to try and use an NOE handle, which, yeah, why would you do that, right? These come out at 308, 309, somewhere in there. The Lyman handles, they come out about 308, 309, somewhere in that area too. So these NOEs and the Lymans, they have the same thickness. And then on my 6 cavity here, these come out, I think, the same. These are the Lee. Yeah, 314. Yeah. Let me make sure. Make sure I'm zeroed. 323. That's not right. Okay, 314. So your Lee handles are actually thicker than the Lyman and the NOE handles. So if you're going to use like a 6 cavity Lee handle, you're probably going to end up filing it down where it goes in. I would do it on both sides just to keep it out all even and stuff. But you're going to have to do both of them. So you can just put them together and do them at one time. If you have a belt sander or a circular sander, I've got both. You can grind them down, but I just prefer to use RCBS handles on the RCBS. I use NOE handles on the NOE, Lyman handles on the Lyman, Lee handles on the Lee. Handles are something that's going to last you a lifetime, hopefully. And when you look at how these things are put together, I mean, they're pinned and everything. The RCBS, they're dimpled where the ring comes in. But I've never really had any problem. These RCBS handles probably 40 years old, and they still work great. So what can you say? And Lyman, they're dimpled here too. So I'm going to put these away. I've got the pot heating up, and I'll shut my little Lyman 1500 scale off. I could use the Hornady powder dispenser scale, but I don't get my little Lyman out that much. This, I don't know, people get these Huawei's or whatever the heck they are. The little Lyman, this thing's always worked good for me. It's 1500 grain capacity and works great. And it's got the little flip up lid to keep everything protected. And I don't know, I kind of semi-retired this because I've used it for so many years and it's always been great. But I'm going to get casting. I'm not going to show you the casting because when I start casting, I've got to get my ventilation system going, and that's really noisy, so I don't even show casting. But I'll show what I get afterwards, and we'll see how that turns out. Okay, before everybody starts yelling, saying, hey, Jerry, you got your mold in backwards. Yeah, I discovered that. I put these together last night after I got home, and I was so road weary from 7 days on the road that I was just, that's amazing. I could even think of molds. So yeah, I got them turned around the right way. Now I can back on the hot plate and get them hot. But so I'd let you know, hey, I catch my own mistakes and everybody makes them. Okay, so these are the coals that I got out of these. This is the RCBS 45201. I haven't weighed them yet. Those were super easy. You can see it my coals mainly from bad pours. Well, I did these after I did the NOE 359 151 yeah, whatever. Anyway, they're hollow points. And I was having some issues here. Let me see if I can get down here close enough. You see how I'm getting thinning around the hollow points? I think I was running my lead too hot. I don't have a thermometer, but you can see bad pour here and there, and yeah, you know, a bad pour here. But the little pin, the screw for the guide on the bottom of the pot fell out, and so I was having a hard time pouring, and otherwise I wouldn't have had any culls. My first bullet was perfect out of that steel mold, that RCBS, and I'll tell you what, as soon as I'd open it, they'd just fall right out. I think I had everything perfect, but using a steel mold is so much easier than an aluminum. These didn't look too bad. I probably could throw a few back, but I think some of the marks and stuff that are on some of these will come out when I size them. I still got to measure them and weigh them, so I'll get back to you here in a minute. Okay, these dropped out at 360.5. That's pretty fat. If I'm going to size them down to 3585, that's going to be quite a bit, and that's before powder coating. So anyway, let's see what these come out to be. Let's see if I can grab one with my calipers. 4545. That's about where I wanted them. That way I can use them. And let's see if I can. I'm doing this one-handed. I'm holding the camera with one hand. Let's see. Yeah, 454. That's pretty close. 454, 4545. There you go. That way, then I can use them in my 45 Colt, and I can use them in my 45 ACP. These will probably be my go-to ACP bullets. Man, I just got a really beautiful design. They're a little light for 45 Colt, but yeah, I can use them. So when I size them for the 45 ACP, I'll size them down to 452. Then I'll powder coat them. These really, this is a classic design. Been around for a long time. And yeah, I'll throw these back in the pot. Well, I'm going to save like my biggest ones. Let's see. Probably that one right there. It's got the rounded bottom on it. And that was because of bad pours. And it's really hard to, well, maybe I'll use that one. I'm going to test the BHN on these. Throw the rest back in the pot. These right here, I'm not sure. I've never had finning on the end of the hollow points. And it seemed like it was just the number one. So I've got to look and see if I got any kind of an obstruction. It was the front pin on each one. It was just a bugger to pound off too. So now that I've got some of these done, I'll get those sized and powder coated, and probably try, if I can get my pot fixed, I'll try and use the cup points and make some of those, and probably some flat points, and see how those come out. Anyway, thanks for hanging with me. I just got to figure out why that screw on the bottom of my pot keeps falling out. There it is right there. And so my handle is just all over the place. It's just really hard to get that good. So anyway, I put it in a couple of times and it keeps falling out after, well, that many uses. Well, out of all those and about half of these, like I say, my first bullets out with this 45 201 mold, this RCBS, they were perfect. And about a quarter of these came out really perfect. Then all of a sudden I started having problems with pouring, and that's when that screw fell out. And so it's really hard to regulate your pour when your handle's flopping all over the place. So I've got to figure out what to do to the bottom of this pot. This pot's about 20 years old, and so maybe next weekend I'll take a look at it and see if I can figure out why that screw keeps falling out, and maybe stake the metal or something. I don't know. It just wore out, but I'm not buying a brand new 420. Okay, guys, thanks for watching. One of these days I'm going to get out to the range and shoot some of this stuff. Catch y'all later.